All right, well, we're at 5:05. We'll start and get into this conversation. This is really meant as a conversational start to what will likely be a much longer conversation. We are in very early days of trying to get the San Jose Airport Connector project going. And so we're here to start the conversation with those who may be around the physical area that the project may come into. My name is Ramses Madhu. I'm the Division Manager of Planning, Policy, and Sustainability in the Department of Transportation, and I'm the Project Manager for the Airport Connector. And then just quick note, we do have live captioning available. Might want to post that to the chat, Colin. You just need to go to the control panel there and turn on live captioning for those who may be hard of hearing. All right. So the Airport Connector project. So we got a little introductions, go through the background of the project, talk about the project a little bit, and really stick into questions as long as folks have time and questions to go through. So why is the city working on an airport connector? From a policy perspective, we've been looking through what the overall direction is for the city, and going through the Access and Mobility Plan, which is a citywide transportation plan, which will go to council early next year. But these goals have really been driving where DOT is going and where a lot of the work is going. And we know that getting more people to be able to travel without their car and travel by other means that are more environmentally friendly, as well as equitably accessible, right? Cars are quite expensive, is a major focus of the city. And so we're being led by that, as well as some policy history that I'll talk about in a minute. So as part of that access and mobility plan, we've been really focusing on what are our transit strategies. These are 4 of them. There are more transit strategies, but this one really fits into that either improving existing or transit expansion strategies, right? We need to be working on both of those, of course. We are working on things like bus lanes and other things to expedite transit that's there already, particularly the buses, as well as light rail. But we really do need to see more transit come about in the South Bay for us to be able to meet the city's environmental, urban, and equity goals. And so this project fits into that larger policy framework that we're as staff supposed to work within. All right, so where has this project kind of gone so far? So the Airport Connector project was initially adopted as a public project all the way back in 2000 with Measure A. Since then, it's gone through a bunch of alignment and technical studies, so kind of figuring out, hey, what's the best way to put this project in the ground. Various alignments have been looked at, in particular an east-west alignment that looked at connecting the First Street light rail, going over and then under the airport, connecting at Terminal B, and then going over to the Santa Clara Caltrain station. There was another one that tried to loop around the airport. But we got a very good study in 2017 that's really giving us the direction we're working from now in terms of alignment, which is connecting the airport directly to Diridon station. There's an immense amount more ridership and use that studies show will come out of that. So back in 2019, we were looking at these alignment studies and kind of working on what's the best way to get this going and what's been stopping this project in the past. And a lot of it had to do with the cost of transit projects in general, as well as what's the right technology to actually do this. And so in 2019, the city went out with a request for information and kind of asked the world, hey, are there new approaches to building transit or operating transit, so technology or business, that might offer us new approaches to this project, as well as a lot of other projects. There's another alignment that we were talking about in that request for information, which is the Stevens Creek line. We expected to hear from groups like Boring Company, you may have heard in the news, or other groups like that. We expected to get a few responses. We ended up getting over 20 responses from that, and learned from that in fact, there may be new transit technologies as well as new business approaches that could allow for faster growth in the transit network. And so with that information, we went back to council and said, well, we believe that there are some new approaches we might be able to take to these kinds of projects. And council said, please do explore that further and start working on getting public funding and the systems to get that done going. And so that's the direction we got in 2019. That is the direction we're working under now. And at the moment, we are developing a request for proposal to get this project going further. And I'll talk a little bit about what this request for proposal is. It is not a request for proposal to build the airport connector just yet. It's to get into a partnership to develop it further. And I think that's very important, especially for those of you who have been engaged, as I know a lot of you have in the public process for a while. This is not a fast, or this is not jumping right to construction. There's a lot more public input and project definition that we want to do with you all as we get further in. All right. So what have we been doing in terms of making sure there's news out there, or presentations and all of that? And so there's kind of a history of various things that we've gotten out there, done some presentations, got a lot of blog posts and a lot of media actually, which isn't completely represented here. A lot of local newspaper articles have kind of covered us. So we've made sure to kind of create those relationships with the media to make sure that the story is getting out there. But now it's time to really get into conversations with the public. And so that's really begin the outreach for the RFP. So defining the project. What is this project? Some of you may recognize this picture, those of you who followed the Diridon work I'm forgetting the acronym right now. Shoot, Colin, save me here. The Diridon Advisory Group.
Diridon Integrated Station Concept Plan.
And then the public group around that, right? So
the SOG, the Stationary Advisory.
Thank you. That is what I was looking for, is SOG, right? So this image was developed through the Diridon Integrated Station Concept Plan and presented to the SOG, which was the Station Area Advisory Group. And at that point, we were already contemplating the airport connector. You can see here in the red pin, and wanting to see it connect in roughly that area where you can see the pin is. So we've been trying to figure out, well, where it's going to go, and this is the place where we roughly expect it to connect into the station. And it's very important that it connect directly to the station and not be apart from it. And so we're going to make sure that happens. So getting further into it, we are really focused on a couple things here, right? At the really high level, as I was talking about in the intro, we're really interested in seeing if we can develop a new approach to transit projects for the South Bay, and see if we can actually deliver projects that are cheaper and faster, but also actually give a higher level of transit experience. So making sure it's not mixed traffic, that it's safe, fast, frequent, and reliable. So kind of giving us a chance to kind of delve into a potential new mode of transit that help the transit mix in the South Bay. And we're seeing this airport connector piece, which at a minimum would be a connection between Terminal B right? If you know the airport, it's the kind of the southwest terminal, right at the baggage claim, somewhere around there, down to Diridon. So, and then looking directly at the project, right? So we're saying, what we want to do is create a project that, at a minimum, integrates Diridon and the airport. That it feels like a single facility from a transit rider's perspective, right? Once you get on that system, you go into the airport, you don't feel like you're changing different systems and all that kind of stuff. You really feel like you're in one place. And again, that minimum is terminal B to Diridon. And we're looking at an optional segment, which would be the interterminal elements within the airport. So that would connect terminal B to terminal A, to the new hotel that's being built, to the economy parking up in the north of the airport. It could be that. And then we're very interested, as you may hear, in future expansion. Right. And so that could be stops along the way. Guadalupe Gardens, for example, has expressed an interest in connecting, and other folks along the alignment are contemplating whether they would like that as well. But we'd also like to see the system grow beyond even that, and potentially connect into other parts of downtown, maybe even North San Jose. Or some interested folks have said they'd even like to see this spread into further parts of San Jose, and even an interjurisdictional line, which is being discussed along Stevens Creek. Let's see here. Actually, before I move on, that's kind of the project description. I want to see if there's any questions you have kind of on the just clarifying questions on what that project description I just put out there means. And please just unmute yourself and ask, or raise your hand if you feel like that's good for you.
Hi, yeah, I have a question about the timing of this project. So this is not going to be coordinated with the BART extension, right? So in other words, this could happen before the BART station extension is completed, or could come after. Really depends on, I guess, the city's decision and the funding.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we definitely are trying to get this project moving as fast as possible. And here's a little bit of the next steps timeline on the screen. But if everything works as the project team hopes, this project would be done before or roughly around the same time as the BART project. We would most certainly be coordinating with that project. We meet with VTA quite a lot about those projects. So there's a lot of team integration. But yes, yes.
Oh, and then related question would be, is this connector maybe, could the connector be extended to other BART stations, such as the downtown station, for example?
We probably wouldn't want to duplicate the connection there, because there's already the bus lines between the downtown BART station and the Diridon station, and we're studying putting in actually bus lanes there, called public service lanes. But at the same time, I don't want to say no. Yeah, we'll most certainly be interested in seeing further connections. So have to kind of figure out which ones are the most valuable, and which ones would add to the transit.
Yeah, just kind of add to the discussion, because if you look at the San Francisco, the BART kind of takes you to one of the Caltrains. You get off and then get on another one, and we have even a shorter distance. We'll be doing pretty much the same. So you need to get on a connector that only takes you to Diridon, and you need to transfer to BART or a bus to get to downtown. So if you're going to do this, I would really hope that you'll consider adding an additional stop to the downtown area.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And we're talking to San Jose State as well as the SAP Center and stuff like that about how we might go through downtown and even go down to South Downtown to that. But appreciate the comment. Absolutely. Any other clarifying comments on the project scope that I discussed? Otherwise, I'll talk a little bit about the schedule, and then we can kind of get into the further discussion. All right. Okay, so what are we talking about time-wise here? So we are working right now to release a request for proposal first quarter next year. Now, it's really important to understand what we're actually requesting a proposal for. We are requesting a proposal for a development partner, right? So we would pull in a group that would bring in a design team, potentially a technology, finance team, some construction and project management. Yeah, so those folks would come in next year. We would not have decided on things like what exactly the route is. We may not have decided on the technology, though we may work on that technology piece as part of this next step. And the like. But I stress that because there's a lot of project definition work that usually only gets done on the public side that we're doing immediately with a private partner who would be developing the project. And we see that as saving a lot of money and time and offering the public a clearer view of from beginning to end, right? We're not gonna kind of develop the project once in the public sector or even twice, then go out to the private sector, have it get changed a bunch through that process and then go out again. We're trying to minimize the amount of time and process it takes to go from direction from our leaders to actually getting the project in the ground. So yeah, so we'll release that, the RFP for that. That'll go out Q1 next year. And then we'll give the teams that want to bid on this about 3 to 4 months to respond. And then we expect in Q2, late Q2, to select probably the top 2 teams in that. And then we'll work with those top 2 teams for a few months, probably 3 or 4 months, to vet which one is really the best one of those 2, and then select that last team. That's the select final project proposal, and then spend the next roughly 1.5 to 2 years really getting into that detailed development of the project, where whatever you say now, of course, is very important, but in those processes, you'll really start getting into the details that folks are probably going to want to know about. Yeah, and so that's all of the presentation. So please, Colin, you mind doing the normal question and answers?
Sure, and just a bit of housekeeping first. I wanted to acknowledge David Tran is here from the Office of Councilmember Raul Parados, and his colleague Bridget joined us for the last iteration of this meeting. David, you want to say hi?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'll keep my comments brief, as you can hear my daughters in the background, but thank you everyone for being here today. Thank you to Colin and Ramses for hosting, and your team for hosting this meeting. And we very much look forward to hearing your thoughts on this project. So thank you.
Thanks, David. 2 other notes. Elizabeth earlier in the presentation asked about the 2019 proposals. I provided a link to the webpage that has all those RFI responses. And then also the second link is to the main page for this project, where we have ongoing links to blog post updates that we put out about the project and other sources like council memos. And with that, and we've got a small crowd here tonight, so if people want to speak and ask questions of Ramses verbally, go ahead and use the reaction button on the bottom of your screen to raise your hand, or feel free to type your question into the chat. I'm going to read everything out loud so we also get it on the recording.
Go ahead, Glenn. What do you have?
Yeah, sorry, difficulty unmuting myself.
There you go. Good.
Quick question. Do you have at this point on your issue of technology, what likely alternatives you're going to see? Are we talking about a subterranean, surface, or aerial transmission line? Do we know?
Yeah, great question. So on what the actual guideway will be, underground, above ground, or potentially even at ground, we aren't decided. And actually it's one of the questions that we're open. We want to still be open until we get some further proposals from the market. we have groups like not Glideways, Boring Company, that are showing that they can tunnel for much, much, much cheaper than we're used to seeing in the tunneling market. But we're not totally certain if their transit vehicles, i.e. Tesla Model 3s, are all that great for a service, right? And so we want to be open to those kinds of proposals. And also, even if it's a more traditional team, tunneling for portions of it, running at grade, but not in mixed traffic, and then above grade or aerial, all of those are possible solutions to the overall space. And if I go back a couple slides here, there we go. You can kind of see this red and yellow area in the maps. We are looking pretty much anywhere in those red and yellow areas to kind of figure out what the right alignment will be. And we'll be working with the project teams once we bring them in to really refine that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Elizabeth.
Hi, just following up at the beginning, are you going to be forming a similar group as the Station Area Advisory Group for this project, or is that group going to carry forward into the Airport Connector project?
Yeah, we will likely have a citizens advisory group of some sort for this project. I don't think SOG is the right group for this because there's a lot of different interests, right? Because it's not just the station area, it's all the way north. And so what we'll likely do is reach out to the SOG and ask if there are folks from that group that would be interested in it. And that, but we will solidify our public outreach approach in more detail as we get into that next step, once we get more resources, because right now it's me and Colin and is Brian here tonight? No, and Brian, and we don't have any other consulting outreach resources on board yet, but we will come next year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read the chat. Rishi asked if we could share the slides after the presentation. I'm answering in the chat as well as speaking. We will. The same slides were used. I don't think that any significant changes were made. That link I provided above, the main airport connector page, has got a link recording from the meeting we did last week, as well as this same slide deck. If there's any changes, I'll post this one as well.
Oops, go back to there. Yeah. What else might be on people's minds? In particular, what would you like to see out of a project like this? And what would you really want us to really have our radars up for, concerns, things like that? All right.
Elizabeth's asking in the chat, get technology we saw the last round. How long do we think a ride this will the ride take? I believe is what you're asking, Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's like what's the A to B? Just how long does it take to go from Diridon to the terminal?
Yeah.
Right? We're hoping to keep it under total time. So that's waiting time, travel time, and getting out time. We'd like to keep that under about 7 to 8 minutes. So it'd be a very fast total travel time.
Laura chimed in on the chat. I'd like to see full access at the airport itself. If you're going to do this, it's better to do the right thing.
Sure. Laura, what do you mean by full access?
I think just rather than going to one terminal, if you're going to do this, it should be built, at the onset for, going to all the terminals and, all the parking areas. Go big or go home, I guess. We've waited so long for this, and I think we all agree that light rail probably should have gone to the airport from the beginning. So, this is a fabulous project. I'm so glad it's even at this stage. But if you're gonna go through the efforts to build this, let's make sure that there's full access at the airport.
Yeah, great.
And that would help encourage the most usability as well.
Yeah, we definitely agree from the transportation, like travel perspective. The financing perspective, of course, is more difficult. But yeah, that's right. We totally agree. And we are, yeah, thank you. Absolutely.
Ellen asks in the chat, thanks for sharing the background. How is this connector comparing to the OAK to BART connector?
Yeah, great questions. So the lessons we've learned in particular from the Oakland project, as well as the real policy background for this one, is the Oakland connector, one, doesn't connect very well to the rest of the transit environment. It's a hike, and it doesn't go very fast. And so it has missed a lot of the marks in terms of being a successful transit connection. And so we're really learning from that. Two, we are trying to build an airport connector, but we're the bigger question, or the bigger project we have underway here, is trying to come up with a new project approach to grow transit. So if you go look at the history of this project, this is the airport connector plus Stevens Creek line that we're really trying to build here. And this is a first leg in that larger system. So again, as a differentiator from the Oakland project, we are not looking for a one-off technology that can only solve the problem of the airport, but actually can help solve growth of transit at a larger scale. While this might be a smaller scale implementation, we want to see that. And then compared to the BART connector, what we're learning from BART in general, not only the BART connector is project management improvements. As you can see, we're trying to get to this agreement with the private sector much, much earlier, and a lot of cost management issues that we're trying to bring in as early as possible, and learn from the best practices, improvements that these different projects have put out there.
And Glenn's got his hand up. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Glenn.
Sure. Just a quick question. Are you going to be able to tap into any of the federal infrastructure funds that have just recently been approved to help move this thing along, or are we way too early for that?
We're doing a lot of lobbying already. We're always doing a lot of lobbying, and have been working to figure out how the new transit infrastructure policies and funding sources may help us. We do believe that there are quite a few funding programs in the new bill that are either additions to standing programs, as well as new programs that may very well help support this. We're also working at the state level a lot to see what we might be able to do to progress this, and again, lots of other projects as well. And so kind of following up on Ellen's text question as well, then funding sources are wide. We're the way that we are constructing the project management of this in the long term is that we are looking for a lot of private dollars to invest in this, and minimize public investment. And we're seeing a lot of interest from the market to play that kind of role in a way that we're not used to here in the Bay Area. So we're very excited for that as another funding source piece outside of what I just said. Now, is it sustainable on its own, or will it be part of the VTA network? Our hope is that we build, 1, 2, maybe 3 links under kind of a city power, and that then becomes a system that gets integrated into the regional system, VTA, whatever that may be. We're not opposed to it being one way or the other, but right now VTA has said please go ahead and research this and try to figure out whether this is possible. And then if it is, they'd be willing to then start looking at the types of technology that we're going to try and bring into the environment as a potential replacements for what they have or growth pieces for what they have. Yeah.
Thanks.
Elizabeth, you have your hand up.
Hi, yes, I'm just following up the point you made earlier that you're looking for private sources of funding for this project. Is that the growing trend? I guess I am under the impression that most of these kind of public infrastructure projects are funded by governments at various levels. I mean, you just mentioned city, state, and maybe federal. Is that a new trend to go to private parties for funding?
What we're seeing is a couple different things. So one, because we are looking at newer technologies, we are seeing a lot of folks, a lot of banks, as well as investment firms getting into transit in a way that hasn't happened in a very long time. And so that's some of the private money that we're talking about. So what they're trying to do is grow new technologies. And what they're seeing is an interesting hybrid between what we call transit and what we call autonomous vehicles, right? And so there's a lot of autonomous transit-like services that would grow out of these kinds of things. And so that's part of what we're seeing investment from. We're also seeing the private equity and finance markets around public projects in general be willing to put up more money if you do projects in a certain way, right? In terms of some of the project management pieces I was talking about earlier, bringing folks in earlier to the project, allowing, how do you say, allowing certain levels of management and control to fall to the private, right? And that's something we're really going to need to talk about with everybody here as we go forward, is what we won't be able to have the same level of, let's say, fair control, right? How much it costs to get on this. We're going to have to give up some control for that to get the private money into the system, right? And so those kinds of conversations are going to be really important to have. Yeah, so does that answer your question?
Yeah, I guess I'm still just a little concerned because potentially this is going to be a very, if once private parties get involved, they can see this as a real lucrative, maybe not the short term, but certainly in the long term. And I guess with this kind of public infrastructure, I mean, I just feel like personally, I will feel more comfortable it's funded by the governments. I mean, that's what our tax dollars are for. And they should make the allocations rather than for having the city to go to private parties and run into other potential problems.
Yeah, noted. Yeah, and the direction we're working under right now from council is to try and build this as a public-private partnership and try and leverage what the market can bring to it because there hasn't been enough public money to get it moving forward. So that's part of what's going on, but definitely your comment is very much registered.
Thank you.
And I wanted to interject for a moment and welcome Helen Chapman. She's joining us from Councilmember Sergio Jimenez's office. That's District 2 Council District. Welcome, Helen. Do you want to say anything?
Hi, Colin. Thank you for the introduction. I'm just here to observe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other thoughts? Of course, put them in the chat or just ask them out loud.
Perhaps I can ask another question. You were mentioning that, or it was mentioned that this project, you hope that this project will get going and be either online same time as the BART or later. In what way will, so I'm curious, in what way would the high-speed rail coming to Diridon affect the implementation of this project, or is it part of the condition to make it totally separate?
Yeah, great. And so just to make sure clarity is there, I said we would hope that this project is commissioned, meaning operational, at the same time or before the BART project. So what's the best way to say this here? Going back to our disk, there we go. So the project that generated this image, right, is the new design of Diridon, the actual station. This project will be incorporated into that design process and fall in there. So to us, it's actually incredibly important that these projects all get designed together. Now, all these different projects, BART, high-speed rail, Diridon itself, the Caltrain modernization that's happening, and then of course the airport connector, as well as whatever's going to happen with the light rail system. All of these things are kind of happening in their own processes as well. And so, for us, it's incredibly important to coordinate as much as possible. And our goal, and not our goal, but they will be designed as a single place and a single interactive system as Diridon goes forward. Exactly how to work that out is what the project team spend lots and lots and lots of time talking about and figuring out. Does that answer your question? I think you were trying to ask something more specific.
Yeah, I think that's a background, because yes, it's incredibly complicated because the BART comes in on Santa Clara, right? It looks like the connector is coming in kind of parallel, or if it not, of the high-speed rail system. So I was just curious, because the high-speed rail implementation schedule is put a lot in flux. So how will this connector project relate to the high-speed rail, now that you've got some goal for the light rail, for the BART relationship, right? BART schedule.
Yeah, so I'll just say the high-speed rail project is a lot longer in time frame than anything else that's happening here, except for potentially Diridon itself upgrading. And so the design process that is the upgrading of the station is the central place where all the work is happening to bring the different systems together. Right? And so that is where we would interface with the high-speed rail design and Caltrain design and BART design and all of those together. So there is a work process that is bringing all of those things together already, and that's where that would happen. The airport connector is not likely to go up along the same corridor as what's now the Caltrain corridor. It will, again, let's see, do I have this? We're more likely, maybe we'll go that way. And I know the yellow mark there, or the yellow area, does show some alignment there, but we're more likely going to be going up maybe Autumn Street, or the kind of in the middle of the yellow area. But we'll see. We're very open to what stakeholders in the area would like to see happen, as well as what the technologies that come out would allow us to do.
I see. So part of the study will be the alignment itself.
That's correct. Yeah. So these areas here, this red area and yellow area, are what we call route search spaces, right? So they're just areas that we're going to be looking within to see, all right, how might the route work in these within this area, right? And there's everything from, federal FAA administrative rules to the big Google project that's coming in downtown West, to the shopping malls, to streets the city owns, all that kind of stuff. So what's the best way to balance out a system that's gonna work?
Thank you.
All right, well, we're at 5:45, and give folks just one more minute to collect their thoughts while I'm talking here. If you have more questions, we're super happy to stay and keep talking But this is our kind of first outreach for this. This is very early, as you can hear. We still don't have a route. We don't know what technology we're working on. But the whole spirit of this project is put as much information out as early as possible, get folks engaged as early as possible, because there are a lot of concerns for a project like this for neighbors, both residential as well as commercial and otherwise. And so we're doing our absolute best to be open and available for your thoughts and concerns. Can always follow up either with myself or Colin whenever you have thoughts. Our emails are always open, or give us a call, and we're happy to take questions and thoughts there. Come next year, probably mid to late next year, we'll really start going on once we get that project partner in place to start diving in that much deeper. But yeah, that's where we're at for now. So I'll pause just for a second, see if anybody else has any more thoughts, and otherwise we'll say goodnight.
Just a quick one. Do you just keep us on your kind of mailing or emailing list now, or you will be creating a different outreach list?
Yeah, great question. We'll make sure to record everybody. We did ask folks to register for this, and so we'll be keeping that as an outreach list, and make sure we use that as future public outreach happens.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks everybody for spending a little bit. Oh, Laura, please.
Oh, no, I was just unmuting. I was just going to say thank you for the great presentation. I know this is very early, but it's very exciting.
Well, yeah.
Love to get more involved as the project moves forward.
Great to hear that. Elizabeth.
John's got his hand up one more time.
Oh, sorry.
I just want to add to earlier comments that I think it's really, really important that this be as expansive as possible. That to go through the effort for this large a project with as much impact as it will have, the last thing I would want to see is to find this at the end of this process and having people say, well, why didn't you do this while you were at it? We've had a lot of that in San Jose. It's time to make sure this time we don't. So I agree with the concept of making sure we have a real clear, clean, convenient access from both terminals and potentially even to the north of the airport. So if we can make it a complete path, a major part of the transportation network, as opposed to a partial linkage to Diridon, I think that's going to be critically important.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, Elizabeth.
No, I just want to thank you, and like to continue to stay in touch and be part of the project. It's really great. I mean, I think you outlined the future potentials, the extensions to the various places. But I think even if due to funding limitation, you can just complete this first sector, even that I think will be very helpful for the residents of San Jose.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you for a kind and very supportive public meeting. This is great. Again, thank you all for your time tonight and your thoughts, and look forward to continuing the conversation as this project continues to develop. David, did you want to add something as we close out?
No, I just want to say thank you for everyone's very thoughtful comments and questions tonight, and wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, great. All right, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.